Hey everyone, it's Alessio. Hope you had a relaxing Easter weekend. In this video, I'm going to show you something that I believe will be of great interest to you. And that is because we're coming very close to making a new 10-year high. And I'm going to show you what the market has done every time we've made a new 10-year high. So as you can see here, the S&Ps here I'm looking at here, stocks are about to make a new 10-year high. Here we are in 2013. The last time we made a new 10-year high was back in 2007. And we're about to, as you can see here, take out those 2007 highs here. Now, let me show you something here. What I have here is research done by Jason Geppert. And I quite like Jason's approach by looking at historical patterns in the stock market and what the market has done in the past and what has followed suit. So as you can see here, the first instance is February 5th, 1946. Okay, so you can see we made a fresh new 10-year high, had a bit of a correction as you can see here, and then the market went a little bit higher, just a tiny bit higher, before we went into a bear market for a few years. Then the next instance, as you can see here, is the S&P 500 in July 17th, 1980, okay, which is quite interesting. Now, you can see made a new 10-year high, goes still higher, continues to go higher for a further 4 months, and then we go into a bear market, okay, for a couple of years. Then, of course, the famous one here is the crash of 2007. So as you can see here, again, make a new 10-year high, goes a little bit higher, and then into a massive bear market that drove the S&P down by at least 45%. Now, so what does this all mean to us? However, I should say this, that Jason does admit that the evidence, the sample size is pretty slim. Only 3 examples in the past, which is not so much to go on. However, all the previous examples have shown us that after making a new 10-year high, the market has continued to make new highs for a while longer before we go into either a correction or a massive bear market, as we've seen here. Okay, so based on this, therefore, I can tell you at this moment right now, there are traders that I've spoken to, there are traders that I know that are predicting that the market, because we're getting close to these previous highs, they're predicting that the market is going to have a massive, devastating crash like the ones we had in 2007, as you can see here, deep correction, and like the ones we had back in the early part of the century in the year 2000. I can tell you that I am not one of them. I am not making any such prediction that we're going to have a devastating crash like we had in those previous years. And that is because the market and the macroeconomic conditions we have right now are different from the ones we had in the housing crash 2007, 2008, and the dot-com crash of 2000, 2001. So I'm not expecting that kind of massive, devastating correction that other people are predicting. I do believe, however, we will have a correction. I do believe we are due for a sell-off, certainly. And in the next video I'm going to do for you, I'm going to show you which levels I'm looking at for a sell-off or a correction. But really what I'm going to show you in this particular video, okay, is the fact that I'm going to essentially just stick my neck out and say that in the month of April, we are going to make a top. And that top is going to be there for at least a few months going into September. Now, and I'm sure most of you know about the famous phrase which says, sell in May and go away. But in fact, I'm going to show you what I'm going to be selling earlier than in May. If you just go back over here to the previous year in 2012, you will notice that, so we can see we actually made a top in April, okay, much earlier than in May. So the top was made in April. The market tried to, kind of regain those highs, but it failed to do so. We also have a divergence here, as you can see on MACD. And then, of course, the market dived and made a bottom here in June, and finally managed to recover it back in by August, September. Now, going back to the previous year, let's go back to the year of 2011. Let's go back over here. Yeah, so you can see in 2011, we made a high. In other words, the top for that particular year was made in May. Just the beginning of May, though. Just barely scratched it on the 1st or 2nd of May. All right. Now, going back to the previous year, 2010 we're looking at now. Yes, you can see actually we managed to make a top again in April, okay, rather than so much in May. All right. So bottom line here, what I'm trying to say here, folks, is just go back to the... So really what I'm saying here is that for the next couple of weeks, maybe the next 2 to 3 weeks, I'm expecting the market probably will continue this rally. I think actually we will take out this line you see here, this red line is the previous 2007 high at 1576. I think actually we will take out this high. And as we've seen in previous examples, continue to rally a little bit higher. Okay, and then finally mid-April, probably in the last couple of weeks, maybe the last week of April, make a high. We'll make a top in the market that will last for the next few months, and of course we will have a correction, a pretty decent sell-off. So really, I think the best thing we can learn from what I've shown you so far is not that every time the market makes a new 10-year high, we'll go into a bear market. Instead, what we should learn from that is it's time to be cautious. It's time to be very heavily cautious about getting long on the stock market, as I'm sure many people out there will do once they realize the market, is making a new 10-year high. So we as professionals, however, we're going to stand aside and not get too heavily involved in this market's rally and just wait for that correction to take place. So that's really all I got for you for now. In the next video, I'm going to show you some particular levels I'm going to be looking at when the market does start correcting. All right, guys, have a fantastic week. Bye for now. For more information about trading the markets, whether you're a beginner or advanced trader, visit my website, leadingtrader.com. Thank you.